Well, hi everyone, it's Wednesday. Welcome back to my channel. This is Jilly Little Zen Crone. And it's about, I don't know, 9:30 Eastern, and I thought I better grab my second cup of coffee and get over here and get this recorded, because let me tell you, yesterday was kind of a shit day. I know some of you can relate with that. Yeah, it was a really crappy day. Stuff just went wrong. I wasn't able to get recorded what I wanted to get recorded. I had an argument with my one kid. But my youngest did come to visit yesterday, and we had a good time. I made chili for him and sent it home with him, and we had a really good talk out on the porch. Probably one of the last porch talks of the season, because yesterday was the first day of autumn. And then Mr. Honey came home. I drank a glass of red wine, did some knitting, and went to bed. So, what do you guys do when it's a shit day? Do you like drink red wine, knit, and go to bed? Yeah, sometimes there's just nothing else to do. So anyway, today is a new day. And interesting, yesterday I drew the death card again. This is the fourth time in, I think, 2.5 months that I've drawn this card. So it's definitely become a stalker card. Not really digging it, gotta tell you. We tell ourselves all those things about the death card, about how, we're shedding something old, something, that, there's renewal coming, that, there's loss, but then there's happiness. And then, you pull the death card and you're, listen, am I not right? Our first reaction is, oh shit. So, yeah, pull the death card for the fourth time in 2.5 months yesterday. Today, though, I pulled the Empress, and oh my gosh, what a needed card that was for me today, because it was a shit day yesterday. And, who do you want to talk to when you're having a shit day? Your mom. My mom's not with me. But, I just wanted that feeling of, somebody to just say, I love you just the way you are. You are a great mom. And, yeah, I accept you just the way you are, honey, and it's all going to be okay. And Mr. Honey wasn't around to do that for me, so I got the Empress, and it was a good reminder. All right, so because, it was a shit day, I'm going back to basics, and oh my gosh, there's glare there. Let me see if I can adjust the shades. Bear with. Anyway, since it was, one of those days yesterday, I'm going back to basics, to my very first deck, which, as you guys remember, oops, that one's fell out, so that's staying. Just a few Wednesdays ago, might have been my first Wednesday back from my break, I said that I was reading with this deck for others for the very first time. So this is the second time. All right. So what have we got? Oh, yeah. Okay, hold on, everybody. Let's see what we've got coming. Oh, okay, coming in this. Okay, so the card that fell out, of course, is our lovely Five of Swords. And I don't know, this card has that feeling of, some anger, resentment, anger, resentment, the, I don't know, it seems like some arrogance too, like, this guy thinks that he's all that because he's got the swords and those two people turning away. Probably going to go plot revenge, right? But seems like, anger and resentment in the air. So sorry if I put that into the cards, but that just seemed to come out. But there is some time for retrospection. Time for pulling inward, maybe, turning the phone off, turning the TV off, maybe taking some time just for ourselves, but not to be indulgent of ourselves necessarily. Like, don't go eat that box of chocolates, but maybe have one and a glass of red wine and maybe a bubble bath and maybe get your journal out and start journaling. Oh my gosh, I journaled so hard. I had writer's cramp and had to start again. But anyway, journaling, things that help us to be contemplative or retrospective. Knitting's like that for me too, painting. But things that we can go into ourselves with and help us to work things out, work out the resentment and the anger and the whatever it is, from here that we need to work out. So it's something's been taken from us, or we feel like we want something that somebody else has. Now, there is light. So here's the sun for us. And the sun, of course, is that card that comes after death and the star and the moon. So here's the sun coming out to tell us that there is a new day. We are okay. We're okay. And we're going to get through this, whatever the this is in your life. And we all have them. We all have the thises in our life, right? So whatever that is, with a little bit of, or maybe a lot of bit of introspection and contemplation and figuring ourselves out. A lot of times it's really easy to point to other people or circumstances or and I think the circumstances of our lives are important, and other people certainly do play a part in our feelings and sometimes our actions. But you know what? Who's the driver? Who is the driver, folks? It's always us. We are the captains of our ship. We are the drivers. Oops, there's another flyer. And yeah, so we need to take responsibility. All right. All right. So we have the Knight of Cups. So this night, through the sun comes new emotional growth, new feelings, I think emotional intelligence, and it does not come quickly. This knight is not charging into the future. His horse is walking slowly, step by step, and he is holding this cup out to who? Who is this for? What is this for? Is this for himself? Does he need a much needed drink of the waters of emotional healing? Or is he offering this to someone else? What are you doing? And then from that, we get the Ace of Wands. So some emotional intelligence brings new ideas, new passion, new growth of our fire energy, a rekindling perhaps of our fire energy, and new prospects where that is concerned. Now, with that comes, I read this card, I think, differently than some other people to do as well. And I read this card as choices, but overwhelmed because of the blindfold. Perhaps some feeling of overwhelm, and also the great strength that it takes to overcome, to make the choice, to work through whatever's in front of her that she doesn't want to see. But just the great, like, look at the size of the swords in comparison to her. And I say it's a her. To me, it's a she. She's a she. But, she, it takes so, the upper body strength that it just takes. And also, again, and I talk about this also with the Queen of Swords, but the protection of the heart. She absolutely does not want to get hurt again. So with all this newness, this emotional intelligence, and the new wellspring of passion coming in, make choices. Make choices to either choose to see the newness, choose to see these things being presented to you. If you feel like you're closed off and you're hiding your heart, and you feel like this, it's taking all the strength you've got, maybe choose to open a little bit. And this is why I don't read reversals, folks, because I think the same can be said for these new things being presented, and those people, those of us who tend to be more open, live life like an open book. Perhaps you want to still that and protect your heart a little bit more, and maybe not that you're blinded to the future, not that you're blinded to what's in front of you, but we don't have to plan things out so far in advance. All right, let's see if we can get some action cards here. I hope this is making sense. It's kind of making sense to me anyway. I do this every Wednesday and I say the same thing. I hope this makes sense. I hope it's helpful. And I really do. I really do hope it's helpful. And I love doing this for you and for me. This is a great reading for me as well. All right, let's see. Ow. Okay. This is a good reading. So, if we can open or protect ourselves and, balance. This card is also, gosh, it's really well balanced too, isn't it? The problematic part of this card is the blindfold, is the not being able or not being willing to see what's in front of us. Yeah. All right. So action cards. So we have the Fool. So what I was saying about, perhaps becoming a little bit more open, I think the Fool speaks to that. I think he says, open your heart, and look at the way he's posed, his heart chakra is open, it's to the sun. and he is just on his way. He's got his hopes and dreams packed up in his bandana there. He's got the wand in his hand, and he's on the path. Now he's on the path to a new journey. And of course, we know that the warning of this card is to watch out. Watch out, be careful. He's blinded in a different way, isn't he? The Two of Swords is blinded with an actual blindfold. He's blinded because he's actually just not looking. He's so carefree that he's just out there on the road and without a care in the world, and perhaps should have a care because there's the cliff. So yeah, absolutely open yourself, but still, have that balance. And then we get another ace. So we have another ace, the Ace of Pentacles. So this tells us not only do we have, this, the Knight of Cups with the coming of some, I think, emotional intelligence, but then we have the wand, the Ace of Wands, which is the, which is all about our fire energy, the word that just came to me, it's really funny, is challenges, which fire energy does bring too, but challenges that can be overcome, right? And just new, creative and new heart, definitely heart and sacral things coming directly from the heart and the sacral. But this card, and honestly, it's placed right under the Ace of Wands. So this is kind of saying, and there's also this newness, this kind of gift coming out of nowhere of some material things. So, oh gosh, sorry guys. Perhaps it's, perhaps it is education. And I think this card has come up in a reading before, but perhaps it is education. Perhaps it's, steps we can take toward education, steps we can take toward our home. I know for me, it's time for me to change out my summer things for my winter things. And it's time for me to clean out all the window boxes from the summer flowers and get the pumpkins out. So there's that kind of newness of taking care of my home, right? Taking the porch down and stacking the chairs up, getting things prepared for winter. Certainly, as I've said, lots of people are going back to school. So there's these steps that we can take, these preparedness to prepare. And then the last card I have is the card of hope. It's the Star. So, whatever it is that brought this as our beginning card, we have hope in the end. We have the Star. And again, I always think of like the great strength and balance it takes. It seems like Pamela Coleman Smith and Arthur Waite had these people who were doing very kind of everyday things. I mean, not that we go to the pool and pour water, but I mean, things that humans would do, but in these poses that are that just really speak to strength. And I think, courage. Here she is out here at night, naked, balancing one foot, so she's got one foot in the water, one foot in the subconscious, one foot in the emotional, and then she's also balanced on earth. And that's kind of, our Knight of Cups and our Ace of Pentacles too kind of speak to this sort of energy, not being all in the subconscious and the emotional world, but to be balanced. And yeah. And the pouring, also the pouring of the water. So it all comes down to great hope. There is, there is hope for whatever it is that your challenge is today, for sure. And I think the action cards in here just speak to opening ourselves, but not opening ourselves to the point where we're not protected. So boundaries, clear boundaries, definitely set those boundaries up and stick to them. It's okay to do that. Let's pull one more card. I just have the feeling I want to pull one more. So let's pull one more and see what comes up for us. So, yes, the Queen of Pentacles. I think she's come up for us too. Last week was a very pentacle-y reading, and I feel like she may have come up there. I'm not sure. I'm going to have to go back and look, but I think she's come up. And the Queen of Pentacles, man, what a time of year, too, for her to come up. I always think of this as, like an early autumn card. Just the color of the background. And, there is all this greenery around her. She's sitting in the middle of her garden, in the middle of her harvest. She is the... she's the quintessential, I think, the no-nonsense, great manager mom. Not that she's not affectionate, but she has the earthiness of the Empress, I think, but not quite the frivolity, I think, that the Empress has. The Empress seems to me so frivolous, so not frivolous in a horrible way, but frivolous in that she doesn't really have a care in the world. She acts like she doesn't have a care in the world. She's so nurturing. She's so giving. And I think the Queen of Pentacles, she is more concerned with her surroundings, her world, her home, her people, her family, her what's going on in her domain. Whereas the Empress, I think, is out there in open spaces and has to me, the Empress just has the entire world as her children. And the Queen of Pentacles has her family and the people she loves around her. So, yeah, I think taking care of ourselves and our homes and our loved ones. And that can kind of go back here to the Hermit a little bit too. That introspection, that going in internal. For a lot of us, we've just had the autumnal equinox yesterday. And so it is a time where we're kind of, we're kind of closing in and, settling down now for the winter. So I hope this was a good reading. I think it was, you know, definitely for me. And I hope that you were able to gain something from it too. I love doing these. If there is something that you gained from this, I'm glad for it. So everybody have a wonderful rest of your week, and I'll see you back here next Wednesday. Take care, everyone. Be kind to each other. Bye-bye.